Hello, everyone, and thank you for listening to the Manson Podcast, a podcast dedicated to the icon Marilyn Manson. I am your co-host, Alex Sinclair.
And I am your other co-host, Jenna Arkansas.
Welcome to episode 19, review of Chapter 2 with special guest Ryder B, the rockstar musical prodigy who starred in Manson's Front Toward Enemy video. We also are going to discuss the new album, One Assassination Under God, Chapter 2. We have so much to catch up on, so let's not waste any time and let's get started. Everyone, Chapter 2 has clearly been released. Obviously, we have an outline in front of us, but we don't even really know where to begin or end.
It's also we've been waiting for, I don't want to say God damn, we've been waiting, but we have been waiting. We obviously knew it was a Chapter 1, so there was clearly going to be a Chapter 2. And I think that anticipation's just been kind of eating us all up. So it's here now, and we've all been sitting with it since the release. There's so much to catch up on.
I feel a lot has happened since the last time I recorded because we also have been waiting to record because we wanted the next episode to be a review of Chapter 2. And then we happened to get special guest Ryder B in this episode as well, which is incredible. We were so excited that they agreed to do it, him and his father. Let's just get through some of these current events because I feel like there's just so many because we waited and waited to record this episode. Obviously, Manson has released Chapter 2. There's been a lot of little gifts he's given us along the way. He announced very shortly before the release a specialty website that immediately when I went to it, when I hit the link, it brought me back to Manson's old websites from back in the late 90s, early 2000s, the very cryptic websites that we all miss and love. The website wasn't launched until Chapter 2 was launched. It was a very unexpected, cool thing that they did. They had all of Manson's paintings he did for Chapter 1 and 2, and he described each album, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, one by one. He spoke in his own words, his own thoughts. Everybody has been dying for an interview from him. This was his way of giving back and talking to us and explaining these songs and without doing an interview, because clearly he does not want to do an interview. He's going to do that on his own terms, but this was his way of doing this on his own terms.
If you are from the old days, I think the website stuff kind of started with Mechanical Animals. I don't know when that would have officially fell off. I don't remember. All the way through Born Villain, I feel like there was stuff with the websites, and then nothing interactive like that broke down the songs. Obviously, this is a different time. Normally, he would probably do press and all of those things. I think it was great, and he got to do it his way. That's really special, too, that he chose to do that way. He doesn't owe any of us a goddamn thing. Let's be fair, there's a lot of people out there that really think that he should have done an interview by now. He should explain this. He should explain that. He should do this. He should do that. And Manson has never been that artist to do stuff just because somebody fucking wanted him to. He's never done that, and I don't know why he would change that now. He's always said his art would speak for him. That's his way of shutting everybody the fuck up.
Also, in the website, you had to collect these gems. I think they're gems.
Like blood seals or something. I don't know. I couldn't tell if it was blood droplets or what the hell it was. But collect them all, though.
It was literally like a Pokemon thing.
They were Manson Pokemon.
At the end, when you collect all 15 of them, they were words, and you had to unscramble them. It spelled out, "You can't die young." Then a song would start playing, like a door would open, and then the pink painting that's in the box set shows up. And then it's very clear that that is the song that's playing, "You Can't Die Young." We're not sure exactly where that song is going to go. Is that going to be in a deluxe version? People are thinking that it could be the beginning of Chapter 3. I do not think that that is the case. If anything, I think that's going to be a bonus somewhere. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong, but I don't think that that has anything to do with Chapter 3. I don't think there is going to be a Chapter 3.
No, I don't think there's a Chapter 3, but I could see maybe a maxi single, but maybe a vinyl, but maybe a maxi single or something of maybe Unalive.
So the music video for Front Toward Enemy came out with Ryder B as Minnie Manson. That was directed by Henry Alexander Levy. He is also the clothing designer for ERD, which is that clothing line that Manson and Lindsay appear a lot with. I love the music video. The fact that they had a mini Manson in the music video literally choked me up a little bit. The message in the video is so strong. It's almost like Manson making peace or guiding little Manson, protecting him and teaching him how to fight and stand up. I mean, it's just so symbolic in so many different ways. When I was in Rome to see Manson, the video was not done yet, but we were talking about it, and he did show me some stills, and he did show me a picture, multiple pictures of him, and it looked like a child. One of the pictures he showed was when Ryder was on the drums and the guitar, but I couldn't tell that that was the same kid. So I was like, "Oh my god, I love that you're having kids be your band." He was like, "Oh, it's my little mini me." And I was like, "Oh my god, this is going to be so cute." But I had no idea it was going to be like this symbolic of a video. And then by the time Jenna saw him in Poland,
In Poland. I guess it was finished at that point. When I got to go back, he was like, "Hey, I want to show you something." And we watched the entire thing. Watching it the first time, there's a lot to take in because there's so much going on. The stuff in the case, the old Beautiful People shirt hanging in there. I mean, obviously everybody has seen it by now and it's amazing. I was trying to take it in, but I knew the kid. I was like, this kid is so familiar. Who is this kid? But of course, you're in kind of a rush. I didn't want to start drilling him about it or anything. To find out later, yeah, it was Ryder. I've been following that kid for a long time. I thought that that was so special that he got to be in that video. You guys are going to hear from Ryder anyways. I told Manson, I said, I think that is one of your strongest videos since the heydays of MTV. Obviously, the Unalive video is out now, but there's something really special about that Front Toward Enemy video.
like you said, Jenna, the Unalive music video came out on the 14th, the day of the chapter 2 release. And that was directed by Anthony Silva, which I don't know if a lot of people know this. He goes by at Poison Pics on Instagram, but he worked with Manson back in the day for Phantasmagoria. That never came out, obviously.
Anthony was a co-writer for Phantasmagoria. For anybody that doesn't know, because I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people that don't know what Phantasmagoria is, but when Manson was very obsessed with Lewis Carroll, Anthony co-wrote that with him. It's a very full circle moment because of who was supposed to be in that movie and who did not end up being in that movie. It never came into fruition anyways, but to us getting this video now and Anthony directing it in a very redemption album and video, that's a big fuck you circle.
Right. I knew that that video was coming out. I just didn't know when. When I was in Rome, he did show me stills from that video as well. He showed me the TV stills when he was around the TV. I knew that that song and video were coming out, but like I said, I didn't know when. So when we got it yesterday, I was so excited. And I was like, oh my God, it just keeps coming. These releases these days, chapter 1 and chapter 2, I just feel like he just feeds us so much on these release days, which is incredible. Like we've talked about, there were so many times where we thought we would never see or hear from him again. I only saw those 2 stills. I had no idea really what the video was even about or how many different scenes there were, but that video is sick. The horns, the burning of the house, the different scene colorations. There's so many spiritual symbolisms in that.
It's Manson stimulation overload, and you're like, fuck, I'm trying to keep up. I think in probably like another week or so, we'll probably all have a little bit more clear answers of what we think is best or whatever, because it's a lot.
What a time to be a Manson fan. I felt like this during chapter 1, and obviously I feel this way for chapter 2 as well, because it is such a great time to be a Manson fan because he is feeding the children and he is not skimping.
He is putting his whole Manson ussy into this.
Manson also released a song with Billy Morrison called The Tailor, which appears on Billy's new album, Hollow. I thought the song was great. I think it fits Manson so well, no pun intended, because I know it's called The Tailor. The lyrics are great. I mean, they're super deep. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves the message behind it. Billy did all the music for that, and he put his
He
ussy
put
in that.
he put his Billy Ussy in that.
We are terrible people. It's a great song.
Yeah, it's sound as fuck. I hope that it doesn't get like mowed over though, because it literally released and then chapter 2 came out. So I'm hoping people give it its day in court for sure, because it's definitely not one to scathe over.
So, real fast, Manson completed his European tour just a month or so ago. I went to the show in Rome. Jenna went to Poland and Croatia. Just real fast, because we have a lot to discuss about chapter 2. Rome was by far one of the best. No, Rome is the best show that I've ever seen. It was outside, it was hot as fuck, but Manson was absolutely on fire, and the crowd was absolutely on fire. I have never been a part of a Manson show that electric. We have talked about this before. Please, if you have the opportunity to see Manson overseas, you have to do it, because it is a different experience than the States. That's all I'm going to say.
I went to the Zagreb show in Croatia and the Łódź show in Poland. Alex just said, Rome was the best one that she's ever been to. I don't know that I can say that it was the best show that I've ever been to. The Łódź show was very special. That was Manson's biggest sold out solo show of his career. That's what he told me. That is crazy to think of, because like we just said, there was a time that we thought he was not gonna tour again or have a career or whatever. Literally having a completely sold out, biggest capacity solo show of your career, that is intense.
Manson completely surprised us with more added shows to his 30th anniversary concerts for Antichrist Superstar. They're now in New Orleans and Texas. It now starts on October 14th in New Orleans. There's 2 in NOLA, 2 in Austin, 2 in San Antonio. Right?
6 shows got added.
It has been brought to the broader spectrum of the United States. I'm pretty sure everything is sold out, and if it's not, it's very close to being sold out. So if you don't have tickets, get them, because because on our live last night, we were talking about these shows, and some people were like, "Oh, we didn't get tickets to NOLA." I think tickets are still available for both shows. The prices are normal prices. They're not thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it's regular price, and I've seen some people sharing their grievances and stuff. You got to realize that as Manson fans, there's so many people that did not witness Antichrist Superstar during Antichrist Superstar. So the decision to try to bring it to more masses of people, that's 100% the only intention there. If you're able to make it happen, make it happen. There's not going to be another 30th anniversary. Go see that shit. Make it happen.
Those shows are going to be super, super special, very special. Like Jenna said, I know I missed Dead to the World Tour, and I would give my right. I'd give all my limbs to go back in the day and be old enough to go see that. I would just be like a nub.
That's a little Alex nugget.
This is very special to me. I'm sure it's very special to a lot of people. These are going to be iconic shows that are never going to happen again. Last thing for the current events is Manson is about to start his Freaks on Parade tour with Rob Zombie on August 20th in West Palm Beach. Me and Jenna will be at the West Palm Beach show and then the Tampa show. Please say hi if you see us. We are very excited. These are the first shows that are right after his release of chapter 2. We are hoping to see some new songs. I hope to God he opens with Front Toward Enemy. That would be a missed opportunity. If not, you know what? I'm not going to be ungrateful. Maybe it could be somewhere in the set list, but I would love, love, love to hear Front Toward Enemy during that set list.
If he does not play Front Toward Enemy, I'ma do it.
This comes to the section in our podcast where we are going to talk about chapter 2. Let's buckle up. The first single that was released was Exit Wound. Then it was Front Toward Enemy. Then we just got Unalive, but on the day of release. So going off of those 2 singles, Exit Wound and Front Toward Enemy, I think we all were expecting this album to be super heavy. I was caught off guard a little bit because it's not a heavy record. Front Toward Enemy is by far the heaviest metal song, if you want to go there. But the lyrics for chapter 2 are enough to make a grown man cry. It's a very, very deep and symbolic record. I'm not one of these people that wanted a heavy record. That's not me. I'm not like, oh, I want it to be heavy. I was taken off guard, though, that it was not more heavy than what a lot of people thought it was going to be. but that's fine with me. The lyrics are what really, really got me. Also, let's just put this out there. Let's just get it over with. Clearly, the majority of these songs have to do with the person that tried to ruin his life. We said before we're not going to name her because she doesn't deserve it. And we also don't need her coming after us or her minions or whoever. Anyway, so in chapter one, obviously that was the subject as well, but I feel like he kind of danced around it a little bit and he kind of sugarcoated some things. But in chapter two, he's like, you know what you did was really wrong and I want you to die.
I just want you to be over. I want you to be fucking done.
Yeah. Like I said in the beginning of this, it's really hard to begin and end with this album because it really, really hits home with me at this time in my life. As an adult, I'm almost 40 years old. I'm going to be 39 this year. I've been through some shit. Jenna, I know you've been through some shit. We've seen and been through a lot of things, right? That's kind of what this record is about. It's about people who have done you wrong, holding them accountable, and being okay with wishing them the worst.
Because sometimes the worst is what you fucking deserve.
Exactly.
Just point blank.
So this album, although it's not like musically super heavy that, a lot of people were expecting, the message and the lyrics are extremely heavy. They're so vivid. There's a lot of vengeance in this record, but there's also a very good dance song, None of the Suns. That's a very gothy, let's go, let's put our fucking capes on and boots and let's go to the club.
He straight up killing joked my ass with that shit. It's right in the middle too, and it's just like, God damn. Let me get my clove cigarette out. Hold on a minute.
Jenna, how do you feel about the message in chapter two? It's very clear what the message is.
I know when we were trying to predict what chapter 2 was going to sound like, what it was going to be like, some of the listeners or whatever, if you were around in late 90s and you listened to Filter released that song Take My Picture or
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, that song was like, it was everywhere. It was a very slow, melodic sound. It was still like a rock song. I think everybody was like, oh man, this is going to be like just one of those easy going records. That record, I think it's called Title of Record, could have been anything but. It was a hard ass record. They okey doked everybody. Oh, okay. Well, you think it's this, but it's actually this. And I'm not going to say Manson okey doked us, but I thought it was going to be musically a whole lot heavier. I will say it is heavy, but it's heavy on your heart, and that's no pun intended. Listening to him bear everything in this out, I'm gonna start crying.
We made a joke about crying, and we honestly might start crying, just to warn everyone.
I probably will. I can see myself crying in my mirror. Okay, listening to him get through this album, it is fucking heart-wrenching. So yeah, he did give us some heavy shit. Then he gave us the really heavy shit to listen to. But it's also, he just let loose. He's kind of been, I don't want to say tap dancing, but like you said, kind of, chapter 1 was still, I don't know, how do you say, it wasn't fully open. It wasn't full capacity. This is straight up just full capacity. This has to be very cathartic for him to let this go. He's been dealing with this for so long. And I know that everybody that has been along for the ride is also just in that same boat of like, God damn, when does this fucking end? And in some ways, it probably will never end. I said the other day, it was like people have never given up that they think that he had a rib removed to suck his own dick. A lot of people still really believe that. So the things that he has been accused of and everything, unfortunately, that will probably always be a thing. I know as Manson fans, everybody has tried their damnedest to change people's minds. You can't always change people's minds, but you can try to be a light at the end of the tunnel of all of this shit. We discussed this, we were both listening to it the other night. I don't think an album has hit me this hard that he has released since Mechanical Animals. That's saying a whole lot for me.
We just want our listeners to know clearly we're sharing our opinions and our stories and how we feel about this record. Obviously, how you feel about it, that's your own journey. I'm going to be completely fucking real with everybody. And I'm not just saying this. Like, I'm not just saying this because I'm on the Manson podcast and we're co-hosts of the Manson podcast. I'm seriously not just saying this. I don't think I've ever had an album hit me so hard.
When you're listening to this and you do know just at a surface level of everything that has happened to him and happened to his loved ones, trying to get through these songs and not try to put yourself in the headspace that he has been in and trying to get this out on pen and paper and into music. Or I guess that's where I went with it. I was trying to put myself in his shoes or even Lindsay's shoes, and it's rough to try to get through all those songs without just losing your shit. Then, if you're applying it to your own life, which all of us obviously do in our situations, it's really fucking difficult to get through it without not crying. I'm sure you stayed up listening to it as well. I stayed up till like 4 in the morning listening to it over and over and was still crying at 4 in the morning.
Me too. Let's just go through some lyrics that really, really, really got to me. I'm just going to apologize now. This is going to be a therapy sesh, guys. Let's all gather around. Let's all talk about our feelings. Okay, so for Unalive, the lyrics that really got to me. Oh,
No.
fuck. Go back in time to execution day, stop who you will be in the future. Well, that resonates with me and what I think he means by that. Clearly, he's talking about, who we can't talk about. But how many times has somebody fucked us over in life or done something really shitty to us, really truthfully did wrong by us? You know what I mean? And it's like, how many times have we been like, I wish you would have stayed the person you were when I met you? You know what I mean? Or like,
Yeah.
I wish you wouldn't have turned into the person that you've turned into. That is literally what he's saying. I really hate to say this because Manson's been through unimaginable things that, only a very small group of people can relate to, being falsely accused of these heinous things. But at the same time, it's like really nice to feel like you're not alone in these thoughts, because I have thought that so many times. Oh my God.
Uh,
But I have thought that so many times about people in my life. Why couldn't you be this version of this person that you presented yourself to me? Or why couldn't you stay a good person? Why couldn't you be loyal? So when he said that, I was just like, I'm not alone. Obviously, we all know what happened to him, but for him to feel that way as well. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing.
I will say, Unalive being the third single, there's so much to unpack in it, but I think he did right by saving that one for the release day because the line, I'm the only enemy you'll ever need, that speaks so many volumes of the layers of all of these things that have happened because it's like, you are so obsessed with me. You are beyond obsessed with me. I'm the only thing that you've got. And that is sad. We have long parted ways. Maybe it wasn't in the best of ways, but you could have at least been that version of when we were good.
Exactly.
We all have pasts with people, and this can be in any form of a relationship. We've all been in those things. This could be family member. This could be anything. Why can't you be that version? Just keep us there and move the fuck on.
Exactly.
I want your death, your whole death, and nothing but your death. So that's obviously I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That's definitely a play on that. I caught that immediately. The stand in a circle, take out your sword, now stab to your right, go around in a daisy chain until you're all unalive. I feel like there's been this circle of really shitty people in his life, and they're all obviously connected in the same way. The song is called Unalive. He's talking about taking a sword and stabbing to the right. All you motherfuckers are all connected in this way. Take yourselves out since you were so obsessed with trying to take him out. Why don't you take yourselves out?
Let's move on to all the vilest things. One of my favorite lyrics for sure is I've got heaven on my mind, I've got hell in my heart. When we were doing our live last night, we asked the people in the live what their favorite lyrics were from any of the songs. The majority was this: I've got heaven on my mind, I've got hell in my heart. Hearing that was very hard. Also, the chorus, hate me, don't wish me suicide. I'm sure there were a lot of people wishing him death, wishing that he would take himself out because of these things that they've concocted, and even the public with what was being told to them by the media. That's very hard to hear because, like I said in my Instagram post, this whole thing that happened to him was designed to take him out, I believe, or to bring out the worst in him. And the fact that he overcame that, became sober, became a way better version of himself, is very ironic how that happens because this was designed to destroy Manson 1000%. In every sense of the word. I've got heaven on my mind. I've got hell in my heart. He wants to do the right things. He wants to do the work, do the rehab, do the AA meetings, all of that. But he's fucking pissed.
And rightfully so.
I was going to say, and rightfully so, he's
Yeah.
fucking pissed.
I will say that song is a lot to unpack because he has been teasing lines from that song all of touring of chapter 1. It's also one of those things of I was chasing this version of myself and there was this terrible version of myself and actually I don't want it back. It's okay. I instantly went to I'm just a boy playing the Suicide King.
We're not going to go through every single song. Let's just go through the Arsonist. Clearly, I'm the Poison You Can Never Taste is a huge reference to Apple of Sodom. And even the way he delivers that in the song is literally Apple of Sodom, which
Yeah.
I was like, yes. This is also a very, 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 very heavy song. Whew, the chorus, when I rise, you're going to learn there's a lot more bridges for me to burn. That's him really taking control of his life and getting rid of a lot of people who have fucked him over. This might not necessarily mean people who have said allegations against him. I think this is just people in general in his life. There's other people in his life that have done things not very right by him, business wise or friendship wise. That's him really being like, fuck everyone. The ones who hate you always find each other. Okay, how fucking true is that? And how many times have we all thought about that for a second?
This is almost like a follow up to Losers Love Lying Till Their Dying Days. Y'all just sitting around in your circle.
Let's talk about Lucifer's Teardrop real fast. I'll be your yesterday, your tomorrow, and never ever was. I feel like that's a huge reference to I'll be your lover, I'll be forever, I'll be tomorrow, I am anything when I'm high. That's what I thought of. This song in the beginning definitely sounds like Deep Six. There's some Deep Six references in there, but also how can it not be? Because it was, it was done by Tyler Bates as well. Deep Six is a banger.
He's been kind of hinting around about being the fallen angel, obviously, and this is where we finally got the I'm just a fallen angel, finding my way home. I figured that would end up in somewhere in chapter 2. So there it is in Lucifer's Teardrop.
Let's just rip our fucking hearts out and talk about an antiomorph. We're just gonna put this out there. This song is 1000% about Lindsay. Clearly.
Yeah.
Because we've seen some people say it could be about his fan base. I mean, listen, if that's what you want to take from it, go ahead, but it is about Lindsay. When this song first started, first of all, I just knew. I was like, he's going to slaughter us.
Yep.
Like he always does at the end of every album, but I just knew that this was going to be a next level, right?
This was gonna be that he's about to take you out back and shoot you.
When it first started and the recording came on, I was like, holy shit, this sounds like Mechanical Animals and Hollywood and Antichrist, like all at the same time. All at the same time. What he's talking about in it, I'm not just a book they can throw on a fire. I have been read and memorized, and I am not afraid to burn. Woo. Yeah, that's really heavy. Also, there is a Dylan Thomas reference in here. I won't go quietly in the night. That means he's going to keep fighting. Clearly, he has with his work and his albums and his music videos and his touring. This song was very hard to listen to because he is talking about how these allegations affected not only him, but his wife, Lindsay. We didn't know how to be cut out for this. It would have to be cut into us. Like, oh, that is just so emotional because obviously, like, what couple, married, dating, whatever, what couple would be prepared for such a shitstorm that these allegations caused the both of them? This is such an abnormal thing to happen. They had to learn along the way how to fucking deal with this. It is permanently, I'm sure, scarred into them because it was so traumatic. I can't even imagine going through that. There's times where he didn't feel comfortable in his skin, but he knew he would feel comfortable in her skin. Like, whoo. Now, this is a song I don't know where to begin or end with.
I'm gonna have to keep myself in check here because I'll start crying. From the very start of the spoken part, yeah, obviously it gives a lot of previous album vibes. He's talking about the snakes. That in itself is rough because not only do you have all of these things happening to you, but then there's all of these people that are gonna be not even accusing you of anything, but they're gonna play along. They're gonna be in that circle of trying to play this person is under fire. I'm going to join in on the big fuck you too. Let's be fair, there were a lot of people that did that to him. That is some snake in the grass shit.
Not to interrupt you, Jenna, I'm really sorry, but also we have to remember a lot of Manson's friends turned on him.
That is what I'm referring to. It was not just the people accusing him of these things. It really sucks when people just leave your ass in the dirt. They don't check on you. They don't do anything. I mean, that is some ultimate snake in the grass shit. You're not only just doing that to me, you're also doing that to the person that I love, because you don't want that for somebody you love, obviously. But now you're just both thrown into it. This is him being like, fuck y'all for doing that to somebody that didn't deserve that and still does not deserve that. Manson did not fucking deserve it, but his wife did not deserve that and does not deserve that now either.
Like I said a little bit ago, this situation was designed to take Manson down, but it was also designed to ruin their relationship and their marriage. Clearly, that did not happen, and Lindsay stood by him and is still standing by him. We have no idea how hard that could have been for her. This song really tries to explain that to us. Everybody thinks about, oh, Manson, wonder how he's doing, wonder how we got through this, da da da. Not everybody thinks about, damn, Lindsay, like, how is she doing? How did she get through this? It really was the both of them, and solely the both of them, because like Jenna was trying to explain, not only were these allegations happening, but he lost a huge chunk of friends. Even people that he was really close to still to this day don't have anything to do with him. You know what I mean? It's a very isolating feeling. It's like, who do they trust? And they really just had each other. Also, something so heinous and terrible happening to them can only bring them so much closer and stronger together. I mean, it's the worst blessing ever, but in a way, if you want to look at the silver lining, it is kind of a blessing, because not only did it make them stronger, but also Manson got sober and is the best version of himself. I mean, everything changed for the better. It wasn't designed that way. It wasn't supposed to be that way. These lyrics are just absolutely heart-wrenching. A lyric that really stands out to me is, "It's not for what they did to me, it's for what they did to you." This is an extremely personal lyric for me. I mean, clearly we know what Manson is talking about, but when you try to relate these songs to your own life, this is something that I told my mom multiple times when she was fighting cancer. I don't want to get too detailed, but I mean, this is unfortunately my story and my experience. Nobody would help us. Nobody would help me with my mom when I had to take her to treatments and take care of her. And, she used to be really upset about that. And she used to be like, this isn't fair to you. And I would just be like, it's not what they're doing to me, it's what they're doing to you. And I've said that so many times to her when she was alive. Okay, sorry, I'm going to try not to cry. But when I heard Manson say that, I was just like, holy shit. Once again, it's like, I'm not alone, and the same thoughts that I've had about a totally different situation he's thought of. It's just very comforting, because there were times where I felt very alone taking care of my mom, and it was very hard. Sorry, I'm going to stop.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to stop. But Jenna, you can go ahead.
The entirety of this song, there's not a lyric that you're not gonna cut you fucking deep as fuck. But last bit of that, they can't keep on killing me or break my love for you. They can't break, can never shake our love. It's not for what they did to me, it's for what they did to you. So for anybody that's like, oh no, it's about the fans, I am so sorry. If you want to think that is about you, by all means, go ahead. But he also explained in the commentary that this was his one true love song. I hate to tell y'all this, but I 1000% wholeheartedly believe that, because for a very long time in Manson's catalog, there wasn't anything like that. There was no love or anything like that talked about. I don't think that truly showed up until maybe around Eat Me, Drink Me, I guess. I'm talking about romantic relationships. And then Paint You With My Love, that one's very sweet, but I don't think it's as personal as what this
No,
is
no, 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 no,
at
no,
all.
no.
I mean, like I said, he said this is like the one true love song that he has written. I don't think he would put that out in the world unless he truly meant that for who it was supposed to be about, which is his life.
Yes, 1000%.
You have to have somebody in your corner. You can't always do everything alone. you've got to have somebody in your corner. And even if it's just one motherfucker standing beside you, you gotta have somebody. And Lindsay is that motherfucker beside his side. I'm so sorry, y'all.
All right, enough of the therapy session. We're done. Where do we put chapter 2 with the rest of his albums?
Ooh. See, here we go again on them asking these questions and we don't know.
Where would we rank this? Is that even a possible question for us to maybe it's too early for us to answer that.
It might be early, but as I said, I don't think the Manson album has hit me as hard. Obviously, they all have very significant meanings. They hit you in different times in your life, and they transport you back to times in your life of certain things. The feeling that I had after Mechanical Animals was obviously confusing, but also, Jesus, that was so vulnerable. Chapter 2 is very vulnerable, but also just like, hey, I kind of give up trying to tap dance around any of my fucking feelings. This is just how I actually fucking feel. Fuck y'all.
Right.
I don't know where I could possibly rank it, but other albums have very significant meaning to me for very different reasons. But if we're on the subject of if we're trying to choose between chapter 1 or chapter 2, I could just tell you it would be chapter 2.
Okay, yeah. If I were to choose between chapter 1 and chapter 2, I would definitely choose chapter 2 as well. I think chapter 1 is going to hold a special place in all of our hearts because that was the return of Manson,
Yeah.
and it's a very strong record. It's an incredibly strong record. It was an incredible tour. I mean, God, he toured that for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And I think that that goes without saying that that really holds a special place in everyone's heart, everyone who's a fan, because it was the return. There were definitely moments I thought that it's a possibility we might not ever hear from him again. He kicked the door swinging with that one. But chapter 2 is it's just. It's just, I have been through some shit in my life. I'm sure everybody else has that's listening. If you are a younger fan and you're not really like resonating in what we're saying, give yourself some time. Some shit will happen to you in your life where you're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, now I know what they're talking about.
Uh-huh. You'll get there, don't worry.
At this time in my life and the stuff that I've gone through with like not only losing my parents, but people who have really, really betrayed me. I've never done anything wrong by these people who have really done some numbers on me. I've done the work, I've been through therapy. My mom drilled in my head because she was Italian and very superstitious. And she used to be like, don't wish bad on people, even people that have done you wrong, because that will come back to you. It's bad karma, which to a degree I do believe. But as I've gotten older and these things have happened in my life, I have kind of realized and come to terms with people who have really done you wrong and not like a gray area. You know what I mean? People who have really treated you like shit when you did not treat these people like shit. It is okay to be like, you know what? I wish the worst for them. And I don't want to wish them well, and I don't want to make peace with them. You make peace with them in your own way. You don't want to walk around like this angry person all the time. I think it's okay to wish the worst on some people that have really done you wrong. That is what this record really symbolizes with me because I've been struggling with this feeling for a while because I'm like, is karma going to come back on me? Is something bad going to happen to me? When someone really does do you wrong, when you are a genuine person, it is okay to feel this way. And that is how I feel Manson felt during this half of his chapter. Nothing more has ever resonated with me than this record. I'm really trying to think of a record that really hit me this hard. I can't think of one. This record really means a lot to me. And it's only been out for a day.
For younger listeners or whatever, when you start getting older or as you are getting older, you don't think about some of these things that you're going to encounter in your life. And when you are betrayed by people that you just know you didn't do anything to, or that you really haven't even concerned yourself with, they either think terrible things about you when you haven't even done anything to them. They want literally just have the shittiest things to say about you. You might take it for a while, but when you're done, you're fucking done. And sometimes when you don't want to feel that way or you don't want to let those feelings out, but I can wholeheartedly say that obviously I've not been in what Manson has been in, but I have been in that situation where somebody has shit on me and said just stuff about me that is not true and thought really shitty things about me and not known an entire story. And when I finally just let that shit the fuck go and was like, you know what? I mean, I'm not going to say what I said to this person, but fuck you. When you finally actually get that out, that's probably one of the most freeing things that you could possibly do. Said this in my story the other night, if you listen to this album and you don't realize that this is this man kind of, I think I said closing the coffin lid on this whole situation. I think that that's what he's trying to say. I'm not saying that it is. Done with this shit. I said everything that I needed to say, and I'm not gonna give you some press interview because I don't have to, because I just said it all.
Not that we have to pick, but to make this a little fun, me and Jenna both picked chapter 2 over chapter 1, although chapter 1 will always hold a special place in our hearts.
Absolutely.
So, really quick, what songs do you want to hear live from chapter 2? What songs do we hope to see live?
From chapter 2? Ooh, I think for a live show, for sure, I definitely do want to hear Front Toward Enemy, just because him being so excited on stage in a high energy song will always bring out like a kid in me. I feel like Front Toward Enemy live is just gonna be that bitch on the set list. I don't know if people could handle None of the Suns live.
I wish. I
I wish,
wish.
like, I think just my sad 80s goth kid in me would just love for everybody just to zone out and sway in the goddamn wind to that song. I would love to hear that one. Obviously, we have seen Exit Wound. I guess it's kind of hard for me too because I'm still sitting with the album. I think I saw almost every song played off of chapter 1 except Raise the Red Flag. I'm not gonna go there. I don't know that he would ever play an Antimorph live, but I think that might actually take me out back and shoot me.
I'm dying to hear Front Toward Enemy. Absolutely dying to hear that live because that's just going to be a fucking banger. I would love to hear Unalive. I would love to hear all the vilest things, The Arsonist, Lucifer's Teardrop. I guess the whole record.
We want to hear the whole thing. We want to hear the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Realistically, Unalive, Front Toward Enemy, The Arsonist, Lucifer's Teardrop. Let's hope for at least maybe one or two of those in Rob Zombie's tour. That would be great. Okay, guys, so now we are going to bring in our special guest, Ryder B, who was the little mini Manson in Front Toward Enemy that captured everyone's heart. In case if you don't know much about him, he is a musical genius. He is only 10 years old. He plays the drums, he plays the guitar. I'm pretty sure he writes his own music. He has some music on Spotify. He was born in 2015 in Southern California. His journey began very young, at an extremely young age, at 2 years old. His parents heard him drumming to the Stooges' No Fun on his high chair. He was the youngest student ever accepted into the Guitar Center's lessons program. He formed a band, Ryder B and the Masters, and they debuted at the Rainbow Bar and Grill on the Sunset Strip on his 7th birthday. This kid's a fucking legend. A day before turning 8, he tuned a guitar by ear. He's played at Whiskey A Go Go. I'm sure his dad will get more into his career, but he is extremely talented. He's been on multiple television shows showing his drumming techniques. He is literally a musical prodigy. We are so excited to have him on the show because he captured everyone's heart by playing Mini Manson. That video is so special. So let's get him and his father on the phone. Okay, first of all, we want to welcome you guys, Jason and Ryder B, to the Manson podcast. Thank you guys so much for doing this.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Before we get started with the Manson stuff, Jason, do you want to just talk about Ryder's career real fast?
Yeah, I mean, he just started showing signs of being incredibly good at pretty much everything he does when he was really little. So, the music was always his thing, though. So when we were trying to force feed him Sesame Street and all the stuff that you show normal kids, like, he would always gravitate to the music, but it was like he was more about like the Bob Marley, the Brian Wilson and stuff like that we were showing him, which was on YouTube. And he was such a smart baby that he, as a baby, like literally took the phone from us and started searching around to find stuff he wanted to listen to. And he navigated himself, like just when he was really young, to Motorhead and Motley Crue and literally Manson, actually, So we just kind of leaned into it. We found out he was a musician when he was 2, when he started playing drums. And he was just immediately good at that. He was playing drums on his high chair, and we recognized that he was playing a Stooges song, and he wasn't even really talking that well yet, and he could already do that. So
Wow.
yeah, we're weirdos, my wife and I. So it's perfect. He came to the right parents because we just, we were like, oh, you're a musician, awesome. We bought him a drum kit that same week, and he just immediately picked it up, and we really leaned into it. And we just let him be who he wanted. His influences were always like, he was growing up watching literally Manson and Guns N' Roses and all this stuff, and to him, like cussing on stage and just being wild was normal, and we never put any limits on art for him. We always just said do whatever you want and say what you want to and everything else. And he's just, we've just really leaned into it and let him kind of drive this ship. And so far he's done a lot of great things. He's 10 years old and he's played the whiskey 8 times. He's already put out an album. He's just really incredibly good at what he does, and we couldn't be more proud of him.
How absolutely incredible. So let's get started into the music video for Manson's Front Toward Enemy. Jason, do you want to talk about how he got casted into this music video?
Well, pretty much like everything else, people reach out to us on Instagram. Anton was the guy's name. The producer, one of the producers of the video, reached out, and it was, hey, would Ryder be interested in doing a Manson video? And the first thing I thought was, this guy is full of shit. There's like, there's just no way. Like that's way too good, way too perfect. Somebody's pulling a prank. So I went to his page and I saw that Manson follows him. So gained some legitimacy right there. And yeah, I just said, well, Ryder's the boss, so he's at school, and I can almost 100% guarantee this is going to be a yes. I'll let you know when I pick him up. And Ryder, take it from there. When I picked you up from school.
Oh my gosh. It was like, he asked me, like, do you want to be in a Marilyn Manson video? I was like, what?
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God. Like, what? Yes. It's just so crazy. It's like, do you want to be in a Marilyn Manson video? I was shocked.
Oh.
So crazy.
Yeah, I think there was a bad word that came out of his mouth. It was like
Yeah.
it was a very strong F yeah from Ryder.
You can say whatever you want on here.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good. Yes.
Fuck yeah.
So, Jason, you as the father, what did you think of the concept of the video?
We had no idea what the concept was going to be. It didn't matter.
Really?
Yeah, we had no idea. I was like, what is it? What is it gonna be?
It was just, yes. I mean, it's Manson. He's like, not to sit here and blow smoke or anything like that, but he's been probably my favorite poet since the 90s when I first discovered him, and for me, it was just like, wow, that writer, damn, you're really this good, to where like these are the people that are calling us nowadays. And it's incredible the doors we get to go in just as his plus one, it's like, or his plus two, his mom and I, it's like, it's just so cool, and I'm sorry, I kind of lost myself there and forgot the question.
No, it's okay. So, when you guys showed up to set, though, did they explain it then?
No.
No, no, no. We just started shooting. Like, I had no idea. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't tell us at all, so they just started shooting this. And I'm like, okay.
Well, yeah, we really had no idea, but it didn't matter. That was the point I was making, because it's him. It
Right.
didn't matter. Like, and it's Ryder. Ryder's into horror movies. He makes his own horror movies, and so to me, I'm just like, you guys could do whatever you want. You can cover him in blood. You can have him run around with a freaking knife. Whatever you want to do, it's Ryder. It's like you can say whatever he wants. Like let's just don't hurt him. And of course they wouldn't, but like, what I mean? It's like we're not gonna throw him off a cliff, but you could do whatever you want. He's fine. So it didn't matter to us one bit. We just knew that, like, this is one of our favorite artists and it's going to be cool, so it's just like the answer was yes, let's go. And no, we had we had no idea. We got there and we saw different outfits and we're like, oh, those look like they'll fit you, maybe you can wear that. I don't know. But yeah, we're really pleased with the way it came out.
Oh, it's an incredible video. I don't think anybody was expecting that.
I think it's a great video. I really enjoyed playing that character of young Manson and just like being young Manson, you know?
Yeah.
The outfit on and stuff. It was awesome.
This is going to be such a special interview. So, Jason, what was it like
Yeah.
watching Ryder with Manson?
How would I even explain that? I mean, they're both so professional.
Right.
That's like it was for me. I'm always proud to see him, Ryder, doing these extraordinary things. I don't want to say I'm used to that, but like my wife and I have been in the film business forever, so it's like like it's a little different for us, I think, but like I was just watching. I'm just really proud that, he showed up so prepared. They didn't, again, like as far as not knowing what the video is going to be about, it was about 4 or 5 days before the video shot that they sent us the song and the lyrics, and that was it. No instruction. So it was like, have them learn all the lyrics. None of it. It was just that. So Ryder and I were just, okay, let's, Ryder just said, like, I'm going to learn every part of this song, like guitar, drums. He was determined to make sure he knew everything because he really is professional. So he wanted to show up prepared. That was something, so when we first met Manson and everything, he asked, kind of, does Ryder know at least some of the lyrics, while Ryder was getting his thing on.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, he knows all of them.
Yeah. We figured I'd learn it, the lyrics and the guitar and the drums. Just in case if they wanted me to do any of those, like I can be prepared. And they were shocked.
Yeah, there was definitely a sense of relief. So when he asked me about how many of the lyrics does he know, and I said he knows them all, he just got the biggest smile. And then I kind of gave it a beat, and I was like, oh, and he also can play it on guitar and drums. And he was like, oh, good. And he went downstairs, and a few minutes later, Anton came up as if like he had to ask me himself, and I told him the same thing. And you just saw like this relief over everybody. Because when you're working with a kid, you never know. You just don't know how it's going to go, So
Right.
Ryder showing up that professional was just, I think it was a big relief for everyone. As a parent watching him, it was just for that reason, those reasons we just explained. I was just beaming with pride,
Aw.
just so proud of him. Ryder's my favorite artist in the whole world. It's just
Oh, that was one of the questions, Ryder, for you, but it's a little more down. But since we kind of already talked about it, so you are playing the instruments in the video, correct?
Yes, I actually am playing the instruments. I was like banging on those drums. I was hitting them hard. I wasn't like banging them and stuff because like I wanted to, but I couldn't really hear the song. So it kind of looked like I was playing soft in the video, but I had to because it wasn't really.
playback wasn't
The playback wasn't really that loud. And what if I get off time?
Right.
It's the thing. He's such a perfectionist.
So, Ryder, it does seem like you are a huge Manson fan.
Yes.
How did you get into him? Was it your dad?
I mean, I probably listened to Marilyn Manson my whole life, so I don't even remember how I got into Marilyn Manson.
I love this so much. Did you tell anyone that you were going to be in the video before it was filmed?
No.
No,
No.
it was the hardest secret. One of the harder secrets we've ever kept. And like I said, my wife and I have been, in the film business forever. So we're no strangers to keeping secrets. I mean, nothing jinxes a project like talking about it. We kept the secret all the way up until the video came out. And then it was just, people were like, holy shit, this is insane. Which is a good secret that we kept.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good secret because Ryder was on Jimmy Fallon a week before the video dropped. It's the right thing to do to just stay shut up about everything.
Right. Ryder, what was your favorite part to film for the video? Is that possible for you to even answer?
Being the doctor, because they wanted me to pick up different tools and like hit this foam.
It was like high quality corpse of man.
Right.
Like it scared me so bad the first time I saw it, and then I got to hit its knees and stuff. And I think it only showed it in the very beginning when I was kind of walking with the doctor thing on. I also loved getting on that corpse on my knees and just like screaming to it. At one point, I punched it. But yeah, that was cool. I think I remember Manson saying that is the best part of the video.
One of the crew members came up to me and he was like, it sounds like I'm bullcrapping you here, but he was in tears and he was just like, watching that made me cry for some reason. But then meanwhile, Ryder was up there trying his best not to fall off the damn thing. It's like positioning Ryder a little different and everything else, and like trying to keep him from falling off. But that was a cool scene to watch. It really was. And that corpse, whatever it's made out of, it's like Madame Tussauds level good. When I first saw it, I just kind of went, Jesus Christ. And Manson was standing right there, and he just started laughing about that. And then we were kind of like, hey, let's get Ryder over here, you know? So I was like, called Ryder over knowing that he was going to see it out of the corner of his eye. And sure enough, he had the same exact reaction as me.
Especially because you guys didn't know the concept. So you guys didn't know that it was going to be there, right?
Yeah, he mentioned something about a corpse in the beginning, you know, like when we first got there. But again, we just had no idea. So yeah,
Right.
it was like, it definitely scared me. And I was like, how the hell do you have that thing in your house? Like, you know, like how can you look at something like that of yourself? It's nuts because it is truly the most realistic looking thing you're ever going to see. And they put makeup on it. It's just like the whole thing is just so dark and beautiful. You know, it's like, it's funny.
So wait, do you know who made that or no?
I don't have any idea. I wish we could name drop that person, but no.
Yeah, okay. So Ryder, as a musician yourself, what do you think of the song Front Toward Enemy and what does it mean to you?
This is definitely one of my favorite songs by him. And even if I wasn't in the music video or anything like that, it would still be one of my favorite songs by him because it's just so heavy and it just makes me want to go crazy. It's just so great. And the lyrics are just that chorus, just get up and fight. It's like, makes you want to get up and fight. Then just the front toward your enemy, like it means two things, and it's so smart. It honestly might be my favorite song by him. I don't know. Even if I wasn't in the video, it would literally be one of my favorite songs by him because it's just so good.
Ryder, your presence plays such a huge role in the video. This might be a hard question, but if you were to be casted in an old Manson music video, which one would it be?
Stay 10.
Really?
Stay 10. Yeah, I think it would be so cool to work with Johnny Depp, and it would be so cool to meet him and just being around all those girls, you know what I mean? and just like
Any chance you get to dump blood on yourself or someone else? Yeah.
get to dump blood on myself or anyone else, I would do it.
Okay, I was not expecting that. I love that. This might be another hard one too, but what are your favorite Manson albums and or songs? Also, have you listened to the new record yet?
Yes,
Yeah.
I absolutely love Chapter 2. Look, I love Chapter 1, but honestly, I think Chapter 1 walked so that Chapter 2 could run. I love Chapter 1. I think this album is just amazing. I think it's definitely one of his best albums. I love every song on it. My favorite Marilyn Manson album is Hollywood.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I think Hollywood is the one that is the most well done. It has a lot of my favorite songs by him on that record. I love it. I just think the album cover is great. I think everything is great about it. I think it's perfect. After I heard that one for the first time, it was immediately my favorite album of his.
Okay, I love that.
My top 3 is Hollywood, Mechanical Animals, and Antichrist Superstar. Those are my 3 favorites. Those are my top 3. I think those are probably his 3 best. My favorite songs by him, I mean, I love Front Toward Enemy. I know this is one of the popular ones, but I love The Beautiful People. I think it has great lyrics and it has a great chorus. I love Lunchbox.
Yeah.
There's so many. There's just so many. I love the love song, the fight song, all of it.
Did Manson give you any career advice on set?
You know, I think watching him is the advice you get. I think
Wow.
that's the advice you get. I think that is the only advice you can get from that. Just watching him do all of that.
Yeah, the way he carries himself, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
to be like, you know, it just teaches Ryder that, like, you know, like this whole rock star thing works out like we think it might. He really leads by example to show that, like, you could be such a huge influential artist and still just be the most down to earth, cool person. You know, I mean, of course, there's that holy shit, somebody in this room is Marilyn Manson when you first get there, you know, he knows that about himself. He just right away was cool, you know, just right
Right.
away. It didn't take long before you just felt like you've known him forever. And he was just, you know, he laughs at your jokes. It's just the way that I would hope Ryder acts when he is at that level, you know, like it's just nobody in the room, I would say, felt uncomfortable. You know, we got out of him just in that day. He just seems like the kind of person that would listen more than he'd talk. He's everything you would want him to be for sure.
Manson's very professional for sure. And when it comes to his work, you can tell that he's just laser focused.
Yeah.
Ryder, if you can tell, well, I guess this is for you too, Jason, if you want to answer this
Sure.
too. If you can tell people one thing about working with Manson, what would it be?
For me, I would say he's fucking awesome. I think it was just amazing. I think he was awesome. It was just so cool just getting to talk to him and stuff, getting to ask questions and whatever.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say if you have the chance, say yes. If you get a weird DM that you think is bullshit from a guy named Anton, It's not. Answer it. So one thing I want to add a little bit from the last answer, from the last question, is that, I mean, Lindsay and him, and they were all just so cool that someone we just met that day, my wife and I were both okay with letting them drive off with him later for a scene. Oh, by the way, we're going to be taking him on a drive through these hilly streets in Mulholland. And we're like, good, go.
Ryder, do you have anything coming up for yourself that you want people to know about?
Well, let's see. In terms of shows,
Yes.
I got a show on October 24th at Bar Sinister in Hollywood, or Club Sinister, whatever you want to call it, in Hollywood. I'm playing a show there. I think that is the only show that is coming up.
Yeah, right now that's the one thing. And then as usual with Ryder, there's there's things on the table that we can't talk about,
Yeah.
but there's always something cool and big coming from him. At least, lately it's been getting bigger and better. Just follow his Instagram to find any of that, because as soon as we can tell people what's going on about, certain things, it's always shows up there. He also appears a lot on the Jason Green podcast to announce big things and things like that. So that's another place to wasting time with Jason Green. Is a good place to go for all things Ryder when he's gonna announce something. It's usually there. But yeah, October 24th at Bar Sinister, it's gonna be an amazing show. So if you guys are anywhere around Hollywood, or any of the listeners, I would love to have everyone out there, because it's gonna be amazing.
That's so exciting. Ryder, you should be very, very, very proud of yourself. I mean,
Yes.
know I know you probably hear this all the time, but you have a very, very special talent, and you should be very proud of yourself. And you were an absolute rock star in the video. As a fan, when I saw that, I got like super choked up, because you're Mini Manson. And
Yeah, I'm Mini Manson. I'm Mini Manson.
I know.
I was just going to share that, Jason, I think I was talking to you, but Manson let me see the video probably like 4 days before I think it dropped.
Oh, lucky.
I was watching it on his phone. I kept thinking, gosh, this kid looks so familiar. Where do I know this kid? But the black wig was throwing me off so bad. And of course, it was after the show in Poland, and you have like limited time, and afterwards or whatever, I know that kid from somewhere. I had to message Lindsay, and I was like, hey, listen, you don't have to tell me this or not, but I swear that kid is Ryder. I was like, and I've been following Ryder for a really long time on Instagram. I was like, is that him? She's like, yeah. She's like, did you not know? And I was like, no. I was like, the wig was throwing me off. I was like, but that was so badass. I was like, because I've been following him for so long. And I was like, oh. I was
that's
like,
awesome.
well, I was like, damn. I was like, that is so sick. I was like, I had no idea.
Well, that's really cool that you said that, because it reminds me that, early in the video shoot, Manson said to me, he goes, I've been watching Ryder's videos for a couple of years now. And when we knew we were going to do a concept with a kid, I knew it had to be, and I'm paraphrasing. So if you're listening, Manson,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. But it's something along the lines of like, I've been watching him for a couple of years. And when we knew they were going to do this concept with a kid, he just said, I knew it had to be Ryder, because anyone else would have been faking it and it would have looked stupid. And, so like that was a huge compliment about Ryder, I thought, from him, which was really nice, because he's right, though. I mean, this is who Ryder is. I mean, this is the kid who went viral saying fuck Kanye on stage when he was 8 years old at the whiskey. There he says fuck his Webster Elementary that kicked him out. And, just so it's like, he's right. Ryder's not faking it. He is that guy. He is the Manson of his generation, I would say, so.
Absolutely.
There's not enough of those, so I think that's really special that Manson shows down upon you and like chooses you. That's really special. He sees something in Ryder.
It really means a lot, that's for sure. Him and Lindsay, I mean, they couldn't be nicer people. And it's just, we're excited, very excited for the future with this kid we have here. And just, yeah. And getting to talk to you guys is really cool. So we really appreciate it. And I know both of you from Instagram, everybody thinks they're talking to Ryder's usually talking to me.
Right.
Thank you guys for being so supportive and and retweeting, listen, am I aging myself here? We're like reposting stuff. The engagement means a lot, that helps the algorithm and just helps him grow. And so, yeah, we really, really appreciate the love from you guys. And we're very happy to do this.
Thank you guys so much. We really, really, really appreciate it. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to episode 19. We're sorry if we got a little emotional there, and we want to also thank Jason B and Ryder B for being a special guest on the show. We are so thankful that they agreed to be on the show. That's a very special interview that we just did. Make sure to check his show out if you are in the area at Bar Sinister on October 24th. Go purchase Chapter 2 if you have not already. It is a great album. You're probably gonna cry like the rest of us, so be prepared. Freaks on Parade is coming up with Rob Zombie on August 20th in West Palm Beach. The Antichrist shows are coming up in October, now starting on October 14th in New Orleans. Oh my goodness, we have so much to still look forward to. We will see you guys at the shows. You can find the podcast at Manson Podcast. You can find me on Instagram at Alex Sinclair.
And you can find me on Instagram at JennaXArkansas.
Go listen to Chapter 2, and we will see you on the next episode.